When last we saw Indiana, it was that Saturday night main event with the Hoosiers reclaiming their spot as this season's kings of the court. The high-energy win over previously #1 Michigan had Victor Oladipo and Cody Zeller pushing up their Player of the Year credentials. Now they try to keep momentum going strong as life on the road in the Big Ten resumes. As we welcome you to the Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price from Assembly Hall here in Champaign, Illinois. #1 Indiana visit to face the Illini. Hoosiers have struggled here in recent years. Illinois has won 9 of the last 10 at home against Indiana. A look at the Big Ten standings. See how challenging this league is. Indiana now atop Michigan and Michigan State. Ohio State put forth a good effort against the Wolverines. Illini has a win over the 10th-ranked Buckeyes, but they're just 2-7 in league play. As we say good evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore alongside Sean Farnham. Indiana back to #1. It's where they started. Still, the message is clear. One game at a time. Not everybody who's been #1 has followed that advice. Last 4 #1s, they all suffered the price of a loss.
And a lot of that sometimes is conference play and how teams match up with you. And Illinois, as you mentioned off the top, they've had Indiana's number. This is a different Indiana team and obviously a different Illini team at this point in the season. But you look at the Associated Press and how it's broken down over the last 4 weeks. Every week a #1 team has fallen, and the Illini, they need to get their season back on track. A good way to do that would be to knock off #1 tonight. Let's take a look at #1, at our one-on-one, though. And the key for me is second chance opportunities. I think this is an area where Cody Zeller can really flourish. Watch the way he sees the vision of the ball, understands the trajectory on the shot, and is able to work around Mitch McGarry underneath to get to the rim. And second chance points could be huge against a front line that doesn't thrive for the Illini. Meanwhile, for Illinois, they've got to have tunnel vision. Look at these headlines. Illinois basketball looks nothing like the team that was 12-0. Block it out. Goggles focused on one simple task. 40 minutes of great basketball. Listen to your coach, believe in each other, and you'll find success at home tonight.
John Gross wants to stress defense. Big theme that we'll talk about tonight. Starting 5 for the top-ranked Hoosiers. A 7-foot sophomore, Cody Zeller, earned Big Ten Player of the Week, coming off his 12th career double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds against Michigan. John Gross taking a new approach to his starting lineup. He's now starting players who, Sean, he says, grade out the highest defensively. Says until that defense gets up to speed, he wants to make a point. That meant that the leading scorer, Brandon Paul, didn't start the last time out. He's back in there tonight. And there is John Gross, his first year here at Illinois, 41 years old, had all the success at Ohio. What a week for Tom Crean, coming off the big win against Michigan and then heading down to New Orleans. His wife Joni, the sister to the Super Bowl coaches, and talked in great detail about what an emotional experience that was this past Sunday with his brother-in-laws.
Well, the key is that it has to be an emotional experience tonight for Illinois. They have got to step up and answer the call. Offensively, they showed signs of life over the last 2 games. Defensively, they got to get to work.
Victor Oladipo gives way to Watford, and he opens up the night with a 3.
Well, one of the best perimeter scorers in all of college basketball on the road, shooting 61% in Big Ten play away from home, and he gets it started with a 3.
Here's Paul, as that was tipped. And Farrell now pushing a bit. Another 3. And this time Watford cannot connect.
Defensive transition, an aspect of the game where you have to have recognition against Indiana. They will look to run on makes and misses.
Paul gets it back. Tracy Abrams now working behind Egwu there. Here's Paul. Well off the mark that time.
We're going to be talking about Victor Oladipo all night long. One of the premier players in all of college basketball. Watch the way he works through the screen, deflects that shot, blocks it, gets just enough of it. And on that last possession, he forced an air ball from Brandon Paul. He guards the best player on the other team night in and night out.
Watford was trying to drive baseline there. Christian Watford, career active leading scorer in the Big Ten. Paul can get going here. Brandon Paul lost control that time, and it ends up with Farrell and Yogi as Paul got back defensively.
Good transition hustle, and Coach Gross will appreciate that. As you mentioned, a big part of why Paul did not start against Wisconsin was because of a lack of effort at the defensive end of the floor. Didn't grade out well. But against Wisconsin, Coach Gross said he graded a lot better. He's back in the starting lineup, and they need him.
Second turnover there. Watford lost control.
Couple turnovers early for Indiana. You wonder how the emotion of that big victory on Saturday translates over now onto the road.
Got to put that in the rearview mirror. Everybody talks about it day after day all week long. Ball on the drive as he was well defended, and Watford fights for the ball. Possession will stay with the Illini.
I like the aggressiveness of Brandon Paul, though, trying to turn the corner and get to the rim. I think he is at his best when he puts pressure on the defense, creates fouls, and gets to the free throw line.
Here's Paul for three.
Just great execution, out of bounds underneath, a small aspect of the game that you can really pick up. Another turnover for the Hoosiers, and watch the way in this out of bounds underneath. Paul's able to break out to the near corner, a long run out for Farrell, an easy three.
Tracy Abrams, he finds Richardson, and another three ball for the Illini.
This team was at its best in the non-conference season. This is exactly the style of play in which the Illini played with. It's why they were able to beat Butler, go up to Spokane, and knock off the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Watford down low, muscles his way up. They live and die by the three ball. In conference play, they have struggled.
Lose 8 out of your last 11, and all of a sudden, that's why you have to have those tunnel vision goggles on and just stay focused and believe in the system, believe in yourself, and believe in your teammates.
Clorin. Egwu. Baseline jumper won't go. Here's Cody Zeller. Went up strong and lost control.
And he fumbled that on the way up, and it wasn't close.
Richardson, 17-footer. Didn't even hit rim.
Last two possessions, no positives for either team.
Here's Zeller now. Back to the basket. Kicks out. Yogi Ferrell lost the ball there and gets it back. And now among the trees. And it'll go with the Illini. Sloppy start for Indiana. Illinois up 6-5 early.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And in part by AT&T. Rethink possible. And here comes the boom. Now on Blu-ray and DVD, rated PG.
ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, season-long spotlight on games that'll impact the tourney. On Monday, we got K-State versus Kansas, Monday at 9 o'clock. Partner, what happened down at Fort Worth last night?
KU stunned by TCU, and now all of a sudden this game even added significance. Obviously, Kansas State plays Iowa State. KU on the road against Oklahoma on Saturday, but that matchup on Monday, not only a journey to the tourney and seeding purposes there, but also the race for the Big 12 championship title as well.
Glad you're with us here from Champaign. Joe Tessitore, Sean Farnham, #1 Indiana. And a spot that they've struggled with in recent years here at the Illini. Bertrand tried to go strong, denied. And here comes Hulls. Oladipo picks up his dribble. And now they swing it around.
At the on-ball defense, though, by Brandon Paul on Victor Oladipo.
There's the whistle as Zeller was trying to get it inside to Watford.
You know, sometimes you think about not starting and what that means for a player. And for Brandon Paul not starting the Wisconsin game, a lot of people said it was that mind games by Coach Gross. There's no mind games. Very simple. Togetherness and toughness. TNT. It's on the bands in which they wear every day around campus. That's defense. You got to play at the defensive end of the floor if you want playing time.
Yogi Ferrell knocks it down.
Talented young freshman. One of the elite freshman guards in all of college basketball, in Yogi Ferrell.
Richardson shorted that. Ferrell averaging just under 10 points a game in Big Ten play.
You know, the key component, too, for a guy like Ferrell is integrating in with this strong and talented group of core players around him. And they're asking him to do an awful lot. And he steps in. He's able to manage it. Over the last 4 games, shooting 53% from behind the arc and close to 13 points per game, starting to get even a little bit more aggressive.
Will Sheehy in the game for the Hoosiers, top scoring 6th man in the Big Ten. Pulls off the ball screen. Good shot fake, and now coming through the lane is Sheehy.
That's just beautiful execution. Team basketball by Indiana. They sliced
a run for the Hoosiers. Tracy Abrams got up into the chest of Cody Zeller. And Yogi Ferrell drawing the foul. She was coming around to the right side. That's the second on Mike Henry.
Well, as we go back inside the play, you're going to see Will Sheehy. He's going to work his way down the middle lane. You're going to see a shot fake, dribble drive, baseline, and just great unselfishness by Ferrell. The defense is all sucked in, paying attention to where the ball is, and Will Sheehy able to sneak in and finish. Indiana doing a much better job out of this last time out, taking care of the basketball, moving with a purpose at the offensive end of the floor.
Ball screen, Hulls and Zeller as Hollowell has come into the game. And a rebound that time by Bertrand. Bertrand through the lane, and he gets the whistle.
And the free throw line is a good spot for Illinois to be at. 72% as a team on the season. Bertrand in particular at 81% on the year. And this is where they can get points when things are struggling their half-court sets. And, of course, as I say that, he misses the first. But, partner, they've hit 2 shots here in the first 6.5 minutes of this game, both of them being threes.
2 for Bertrand. Zabel, who picked up his first. And now the steal here by Brandon Paul. got a tie game. So I guess the message was sent to Brandon Paul about picking it up defensively.
Well, less flash, more substance, even on the finish.
Sheehy able to get it to Cody Zeller. Coming in there on the double that time was Tracy Abrams. And Zeller draws the whistle.
Brandon Paul doing an excellent job jumping the lane, reading the pass, and then out in the open floor. Not quite the finish I think he was hoping for, but still. Substance over flash and flair, and Brandon Paul doing it at the defensive end of the floor, igniting himself a little bit offensively.
It was Paul who was pulled from the starting lineup this past Sunday as John Gross was critical of his defense. That came in the loss to Michigan State. Wanted to make a statement. Said he's going to grade everybody out, and that'll determine who starts. Oladipo tried to go underneath with the reverse. On the other end, good finish by Joseph Bertrand.
A lot of time you think, okay, I don't want to push and create tempo against Indiana, one of the best scoring teams in all of college basketball, night in and night out. But it's exactly what the Illini wants to do.
They're crashing down on Zeller, and he was able to get it to Oladipo.
And you don't want the pace to go up and down where you're getting burned. But what you want to be able to do is to force your turnovers and your opportunities and turn them into points. An off-balance shot by Oladipo. Spacing in transition. Nice roll, step to the middle and finish by Bertrand.
Jay Richardson's first foul sends Oladipo to the line. Oladipo has really started to emerge as a late-blooming National Player of the Year candidate. I think Saturday night got everybody's attention, Sean.
Just a superb talent. His improvements from a year ago, plus 17 in the field goal percentage department, plus 31% from behind the arc. His ability to work hard, as Tom Crean told us earlier today, he has set the gold standard for the program when it comes to work ethic and putting in the time to get better.
Just testing Brandon Paul a bit defensively. Egwu against Zeller. And that's going to stay with Illini.
A good start to this game, even at 11. Will Sheehy already in the scoring department. The question we have for you tonight is, who is the best sixth man in college basketball? We'll discuss when we return. We like to come up with some sort of question to get you thinking about college basketball. Will Sheehy, Devontae Gardner, Kyle Wilcher. Will we hear from Big Blue Nation tonight in our Twitter poll? Jake Crockett leading the way for Texas Tech. Now, all four of these guys, they have one thing in common. They all come off the bench. And we ask you, who's the best sixth man in the nation this season? You see the minutes per game, the points per game for each. All of them extremely valuable to their team's success.
And you can tweet us your choice using hashtag #BestSixthMan, and we will give you the results in the second half. USA Today did a recent feature on Will Sheehy, and one of the sub-headlines was that Sheehy plays with a brash edge that rubs opponents wrong. And that'll make a coach very happy.
Yes.
If you're Tom Crean, you're happy about a headline like that.
And today it's shoot around, and this is something he's done really and picked up this year. Very coach-like in his demeanor. He is talking guys through plays just as he is right now, making sure everybody's in the right position. You need to have a vocal leader on your team, and it needs to be able to come from within. It can't always be from the bench with the head coach.
He was barking out orders from the baseline. Brandon Paul at the side rim.
A good job showing defensively that time off the screen. Closing out to Brandon Paul was Will Sheehy.
Yogi Ferrell trying to find Elston down low, and that's 5 turnovers now for Indiana. Number 1 off to a choppy beginning here on the road.
Well, 5 turnovers and 8 points off of turnovers. We'll see if they add to it on this possession. And obviously, when you're looking at an 11-11 game, 8 of them coming off turnovers, Indiana's got to take care of the ball.
DJ Richardson.
Indiana's pressuring out well beyond the NBA line.
Bertrand tried to shoot over Watford. No success there. There's Watford looking to get past Griffey, and they'll stay with the Hoosiers.
And that last possession for Illinois, though, Tess, I understand you want to move the ball side to side. You want to make Indiana guard and defend, but you also want to be able to collapse the defense. And if you don't have a back-to-the-basket scorer like Illinois does not, do it off the dribble drive. Set a screen, get into the lane, make the defense step and react to you.
Oladipo, and with ease he goes through the lane. Boy, that first step, that'll get him there in a hurry.
Well, just a complete mismatch, though, on the outside. And when you see a mismatch like that as a defensive player, your help side rotation has got to be a lot crisper.
Egwu was looking for Richardson on the cut.
And Oladipo's going to turn and face on this last possession, and you're going to see him attack. And just no rotation over. I mean, the help side defense, you got to pinch in from the wing, or your weak side post has got to step all the way over. In this instance, I want to see Brandon Paul pinch in and force the kick to the outside.
Abrams struggled to get that in. A long ball by Griffey. Jordan Poles, another turnover. And the follow-up that time by Tyler Griffey. Back to a tie game here.
Second chance points in our one-on-one. I said it, Indiana should have an advantage there. They're -5 right now.
Oladipo able to get to the rim, and he's laying down, grabbing his jaw under the basket at the other end.
Yeah, number situation in a wide open Bertrand underneath the rim for a while there.
Oladipo races back defensively now. He was grimacing at the end of that last play. Bertrand tried with the follow-up, and here comes Victor. Watford for 3.
It's never good when the opposing coach covers his head before the shot even goes off. Coach Gross knew it. He saw it. Watford cannot be that open from the outside. He's going to drain it. 2-3 zone right now for the Hoosiers, changing things up.
8 points for Christian Watford. Has 2 3-pointers here in the first half. Able to connect.
Bertrand coming off that strong performance against Wisconsin. 17 points, 7 rebounds, in a good rhythm, good flow, good bounce that time.
That was his first start of the season. Only had 17 combined points over the previous 4 games prior to that. And Oladipo can't get the little bunny bounce to go there.
It has not been a good start for Oladipo at the offensive end.
And Abrams took it strong. The whistle came in. We remind you that ESPN's Saturday Showcase has 2 good conference matchups at noon. Wolverines and Badgers get another look at Trey Burke, and then at 2, Tar Heels, and now number 8, Miami. Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy.
Miami has yet to lose a game this season where they've had their entire roster available. And they are playing with a sense of purpose, and they're the only team in any of the Power 6 conferences to be undefeated still.
Yogi Ferrell picked up his first moments ago. Tracy Abrams picks up the dribble and then kicks it back out to Paul. They will reset here. Griffey trying to split, and they'll get possession, and it'll go with Indiana.
I don't mind trying to split it. I just don't want Griffey being the guy that tries to split the two guards. A big man bringing the ball down low, right to where the guards' hands are. They're able to snatch it and gain possession for Indiana. I would have rather seen him do a quick swing and then stop at the free throw line area and get that ball right back.
Hulls, his first of the night. Jordan Hulls. He was 3 of 4 behind the arc against Michigan.
49% on the season from behind the arc. And this Indiana team going right back to zone.
Brandon Paul now trying to respond, and he does.
And see, that's what I said Griffey should have done on the last possession. Get the ball out of your hands and then flash to the open area. Draw the defense to you and find shooters.
All with 8. Cody Zeller yet to score tonight as Indiana works it around. Will Sheehy looking for the entry pass to the big man. Zeller through the lane. And there's the whistle as Indiana is that 1-point lead. First on Brandon Paul. Thank you, Chris. Indiana here on the road. They haven't won their first 5 road Big Ten games to open a season since 1993. Let's take a look at Louisville and Notre Dame's state of success, brought to you by State Farm.
Well, we saw Notre Dame earlier this year against Georgetown, a game that they lost at home. Game day on the way there this Saturday, and Jack Cooley, so important that he plays with toughness and energy and a sense of purpose underneath, because it really does open up things for the 2 athletic guards for Mike Gray.
Zeller's first point of the night. Of course, you can tune in Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Watch College Game Day covered by State Farm.
Do you think Digger's going to be excited?
Just a little bit.
I wonder if he'll have any stories to tell.
I think the crew's going to be excited. Is a better question, being hosted by him. Just a 3-point lead for Indiana. It's had 4 ties and 4 lead changes already tonight.
Well, Indiana changing up its defense. It's gone to the 2-3 zone, back to man-to-man, this time with the 4-time. Illegal screen.
And Eckler. Fouls against the Illini now. Hulls, and he's hitting again. And when he finds his stroke, watch out.
You have to be there on the catch, Tess. Every time. If it's off screens, you have to have an awareness. The scouting report, the first thing a scouting report would say is, can shoot the 3. And they go back to the zone defense.
DJ Richardson.
Well, that'll get you out of the zone defense quick. And if you're Illinois, you've got to be able to make shots. Quick ball reversal, open 3. Drain it.
There's Zeller now.
Work early, pin and seal, go away from the defense. Those are the things that Cody Zeller did on that possession to get an easy, high-percentage look.
Averaging over 16 a game in the Big Ten. That's his first field goal of the night. Shot clock down to 6. Tracy Abrams. Here's Paul now, going to play beat the clock.
Not a good possession for Illinois right there. Just great perimeter defense, suffocating the Illini. And you have to have a better awareness of how much time's on the shot clock. When it gets to under 5, you've got to start going towards the rim. You can't be dribbling away.
Sheehy through the lane, and he gets it to go. Good, strong move by the 6-man, Will Sheehy. And a timeout called by the Illini.
Will Sheehy, one of the best 6-men in all of college basketball, turns the corner and finish. Hoosiers by 7.
Seven-point lead for Indiana, their largest so far tonight, Sean.
All right, and Cody Zeller doing an excellent job working 2 possessions ago, down low on the block. He needs to do a lot more of this. He's in the middle of the paint. He's going to get into his man, create enough space for him to finish. Look at the way he works the defense, working early, creating space, going away from a nice finish.
9-3 run for the Hoosiers over the last 2 minutes. Brandon Paul trying to drive past Oladipo, rebound Egwu, and he turns around with the right hand and solves that problem.
Egwu had a great game against Wisconsin himself, 14 points, 7 rebounds. If he could just get to about 10 points and 5 rebounds per game, he'd be very beneficial, taking off some of that pressure from the outside.
Picks up his second on the other end.
Well, fouls have been a major issue for him. He's fouled out of 3 out of the last 5 games for the Illini. And in the other 2, he had 4 fouls.
So Zeller will go to the line, shooting 1-1.
Zeller's numbers on the road this year, even more impressive than his numbers overall, averaging 18.5 points, almost 10 rebounds per game on the road in conference play. He's posted back-to-back double-doubles, though, last week.
One of only 3 players from the major conferences averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds per game.
The expectation's so high on Cody Zeller coming into this season. People can look at the numbers, they can dissect them any way they want, but he's one of the premier players in all of college basketball.
And there's a steal by Sheehy. And getting after the ball that time on the other end was Joseph Bertrand.
A lazy pass offensively, a lazy cut to the ball, and Will Sheehy simply wanting it more. The offense, it's got to get a little crisper for the Illini. Coach Gross knows it. They trail by 7.
I look forward to that. Chris, Sean, we have an early February 7th sighting of Joe Lunardi's bracketology.
Never too early, and you see the Illini right there in the first 4 out, and they've got a lot of room this season to either move up or play themselves out. It reminds me of my senior year at UCLA. We were 13-11. Everybody said we were going to the NIT. We won our last 6 games and played our way in. Illinois will have that opportunity with 9 games remaining. I think they've got to go 6-3.
They have one of the stranger resumes, though, because they have so many of those signature wins early in the year. Remember, they started 12-0. They have the win against Butler, the win against then number 10 Gonzaga, and then, you know, good solid conference win against Ohio State. It's what's happened most recently in conference play, where it's as if they've fallen off the cliff now at 2-7.
Well, and just as I talk about Will Sheehy and his importance to Indiana being that extension of the coaching staff on the floor, Illinois needs the same inside their locker room. They need to stay together, believe in each other, and get this thing turned around.
Griffey misses, and Zeller gets another rebound.
You don't walk into Spokane and walk out with a victory. I mean, one of the more difficult environments in all of college basketball.
Victor Oladipo adds to that lead for Indiana.
2 possessions in a row where Indiana has just executed to perfection.
Watford, long three. And a rebound by Paul. Trying to not let this get away from them, but right into the hands of Watford. Oladipo. He's tried to push that right hand. Good rebound and the putback by Will Sheehy. And a timeout called by John Gross. 14-point margin. A 13-2 run by number one.
Turnovers will hurt you, and Oladipo, a nice job towing that three-point line, knocking down the perimeter shot, as I mentioned, plus 31% from where he was a year ago from behind the arc. And then, once again from the outside, Oladipo in such good rhythm. Will Sheehy, though, gathering up the miss and able to finish. The toughness. Does a little bit of everything. Play with the edge, play with the emotion, play with the passion.
Play like a kid who was under-recruited until late in his senior year of high school.
You know, we talked about recruiting, and obviously yesterday, signing day, so much about 5-star, 4-star, 2-star, no star. I don't care how many stars you have. What I do care about is how you come into the college game and how you can make your imprint on your team. How can you help your team win? And Will Sheehy does it in so many ways.
Fab Melo was a high school teammate of his. That's how he got looks. Otherwise, who knows where Sheehy would be.
So very similar to like us in our broadcast. I work with you,
yeah,
and so
right.
I get looks.
Sure. 8 points in 9 minutes for Sheehy.
It's amazing. People, I go around the country and I call games. Hey, what do you do on the Big Ten? I work with Joe Tess. Oh, Tess. Well, you know, he did the Orange Bowl this year. I said, yes, I'm aware.
That was Northern Illinois, not Illinois.
I didn't say it was here. You're big in Tucson these days.
There's Bertrand. And Zeller was waiting for him. His first. Remind you that we have primetime NBA Friday at 8. Clippers against LeBron and the Heat, 10:30. Bulls and Jazz. NBA Friday presented by State Farm. Coverage tips off with Kia. NBA Countdown at 7:30.
The question is, who's going to be playing for the Clippers?
Right.
I mean, everybody's injured. Crawford did suit up, but just did not play last night. But you've got Chauncey Billups out, Chris Paul out, Blake Griffin out. Yet the Clippers still found a way to win.
This big story in the NBA has been Rondo out, and the Celtics still doing nothing but winning since then. They had that bad stretch, and then Rondo exits with the ACL, and everything goes right. Sheehy just continues to do damage.
And he picks up a technical. Sometimes the emotion can get a little bit of a better than what you really want to see.
What was that about him rubbing the wrong way?
He rubbed the official wrong that time. But a great job executing. Watch what you're going to see. A little dribble drive action gets into here. Sheehy's going to sprint in from outside your screen, and he's going to get into the rim. Watch the way defense steps up, split the double team with a nice bounce pass and a strong finish.
Richardson shooting at the other end. Sheehy with 10 points in the last 10 minutes, 5 of 6 from the floor.
And just watch the way. Movement without the ball, be tough to guard and finish strong. All of those things Will Sheehy did on this possession, and then afterwards he went ahead and got himself a technical.
Yogi Ferrell with that bounce pass assist right in stride. He leads Big Ten freshman in assists. Indiana settling in after those opening 10 minutes where they were a bit sloppy.
We're back to this zone, and Illinois has had some success when they've got the ball at the free throw line. That's where you want to get the ball here in the 2-3 zone.
Abrams tried to leave it that time.
That was a good look by Abrams, and I know it was obviously whistled off, but those are the things you have to do against the zone of Indiana. You want to get into the middle of the paint, make the defense collapse to you, and find the open man. We're back to the zone once again on this possession.
Richardson for three. And a long rebound and save by Tyler Griffey. 7-second differential on the clocks, and Griffey with the jumper.
They've had success every single time Griffey has gotten to the free throw line, whether it's finding Richardson for the three or that time popping the mid-range jump shot. This is a huge possession right now for Illinois. You've got to go to the locker room with a little bit of momentum, and a stop here keeps it within 10.
Tom Crean's going to take a timeout. We asked you earlier, who's the best sixth man in the country? You can tweet us, give you the results in the second half. And here's the campaign for Will Sheehy to get your support.
Well, and look at the way he moves without the ball, how active he is out on the court. He is difficult to guard. He finds open areas. He's able to complete high percentage looks. His value to the team, he's scrappy. He plays with an edge. I think he is right there when you look at the list of other guys that we had on that list. Again, very simple. Hashtag best sixth man. That's all you got to do. Hashtag best sixth man. Kyle Wiltshire, Jay Crockett, Devontae Gardner, and of course Will Sheehy on that list. All four of those players play such a large impact for each team's success, but Will Sheehy adds another dimension for Indiana.
Tom Crean was recently asked about Sheehy. He said, hey, listen, I'll keep it simple. We play better when he plays better. He makes us tough. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Yogi Ferrell. And a whistle away there.
Just no need. No need with 1.8 seconds left. The ball off the rim, and now you're going to send Cody Zeller to the free throw line.
And the bonus there, so Zeller will be shooting 1 and 1. But a foul away.
The contact all happens away from the screen, and Abrams grabs Cody Zeller. You may not like it, but it's the right call. And what that does, it just sucks the life out of you going into the locker room.
And Zeller able to connect. So Indiana, they woke up about halfway through that first half. 12-19 after that slow start. 41-29, number one on top. Let's send it to the studio with our UPS halftime report. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, Joe. UPS halftime report. Chris Cotter along with the coach, Bruce Pearl, here in studio. And Indiana, extending their lead to a 12-point margin here at the half. And they're getting everybody involved. I mean, you've got at least 6 players scoring at least 6 points in this game. And when they spread it out like that, Coach, they've got to be almost impossible to stop.
Chris, Indiana is putting on an offensive clinic. I mean, they've got too many weapons. They've got too many guys that can score the basketball. Will Sheehy has been terrific. Tom Crean said when he plays well, they play even better. But I think it's Christian Wofford because he's sort of that guy you don't know what to expect. He can do it from the perimeter. Here he gets a pushback in transition, and they also roll him down to the block. He's got advantage against an undersized Illinois team. That's what a senior needs to do. And then when you've got a guy that can run to the rim, you also got to have a guy that can trail from 3. Very, very dangerous. I just think the fact that Indiana's got so much balance, and they're really putting on an offensive clinic so far in the first.
I gave them too much credit. They only have 5 players who've scored at least 6 points, with their leading scorer being Will Sheehy with that 10 points off the bench. So they seem to be just in rhythm here right now offensively. Is there anything they can do better?
I think for Indiana to ultimately be the dominant team and a team that could win a national championship, they've got to continue to find a way to get Cody Zeller off. They got to get him more touches. I think the best way to get the big fella touches is to reverse the basketball. Downhill ball screen, he rolls to the post. They reverse it to the top, and one more time to the other side. A beautiful bounce pass inside and an easy finish. Cody Zeller is impossible to stop here. He does his work early, he seals, he makes contact. Nobody's going to touch that shot right there. That's what Indiana needs to do, get Zeller more touches like that.
I just want to follow up on this real quick because he's coming off a huge game against Michigan over the weekend. When you talk about the Wooden Award, is he the type of player that maybe is sacrificing himself a little bit for his teammates, or he's on a team where so many others are getting touches and scoring points that he isn't just getting the numbers that maybe he could somewhere else?
No. I think that good teams have players that turn down good shots to get other players better shots. And so they're not being patient to share the sugar. They're turning down good shots to get better shots. I think, though, it's all about momentum. And if he keeps playing like he plays right now, he's going to big time back in the conversation for the Wooden Player of the Year.
He's having a great stretch right now. Kansas is not. They've lost 2 in a row, first time that's happened in years. And the second loss was embarrassing last night against TCU. We'll hear from Coach Self, and we'll give you our thoughts coming up.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Now that's better. This halftime report is delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Glad you're with us for the Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. 12-point lead for #1 Indiana. Joe Tessitore, Sean Farnham with us, and they haven't even gotten Mr. Zeller going in the paint. Just one field goal for the 7-footer in that first half.
The team is very balanced, though, and they have many, many weapons. You don't get to #1 without it, and one of the best weapons they have come at the defensive end of the floor. Victor Oladipo, the National Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He'll be on the Wooden Award watch list. He forces the air ball early against Brandon Paul, and then on the next possession, he gets the tip for the block shot. And what he has become is almost the Deion Sanders of college basketball. You know, Deion used to cut the field in half. You didn't even throw against him. The same way Champ Bailey did early in his career. Victor Oladipo, you see the possessions, only one made field goal in the first half, and it was Bertrand that knocked it down when Victor Oladipo was guarding.
Game Track is brought to you by Buick. You see what Indiana has done from 3. By the way, Will Sheehy, 5 of 6 from the floor for 10 points off the bench. Just in time for your Twitter poll. You're asking who's the best 6th man in the country, and Sheehy has a first half like that. Griffey trying to get the second half started, and he can't connect, but the long rebound that time by Nana Egwu.
It's important for Illinois to value the basketball. Points off the turnovers early was in their favor.
They live and die by that 3 ball all year long, and they missed the first 2 attempts of the second half. And Zeller denied on the other end.
In that last possession, who was guarding Paul? Oladipo.
Egwu against Zeller. And he gets the bounce. John Gross, he's been emphasizing defense for the past week. Says defense was atrocious a week ago.
Patience in this possession for Indiana.
Zeller on the feed from Victor Oladipo.
It was just a clinic. Lull you to sleep with the dribble drive action up top. Just the dribble handoff. Just pass it along, screened by Zeller, wide open underneath. That is a clinic in half-court offense by Indiana.
Abrams. And Watford comes down with it as Indiana trying to add to that 12-point lead. They were up 14 in the first half. Yogi, left-hander, won't go. Hit the bottom of the rim that time. Brandon Paul will crossover around Zeller, gets the whistle. And they're going to count the basket.
Well, that was a possession guarded by Oladipo, and Zeller steps out to help as they try to down Brandon Paul and force him towards the baseline, give him the continuation. And Brandon Paul, you see the season numbers and what he has so far here tonight, he's going to need to have a huge second half, and it's going to have to come at both ends of the floor.
One Cody Zeller.
They have to have him set the tone and the demeanor defensively, and that will predicate upon their offense.
35 against Gonzaga back in December. And the lack of defense had him pulled from the starting lineup this past weekend. Big Ten play's been rough in these parts. Watford now, another three ball. Yogi Ferrell through the lane. Here's Ferrell. Gives way, Watford. That finger roll wouldn't go. Ferrell tried to chase it down, but it goes out, and it'll be the Illini's ball.
A loose ball turnover on that possession, but the previous possession, Yogi Ferrell is going to be aggressive. Great out defensively. Freeze it when we get to the free throw line. Right here. Brandon Paul, where is your vision? It's over here. Where's the ball? It's right there. Turn around, pick up the ball, force Yogi Ferrell to shoot up over the top. Instead, you clear out, create a lane, and allow Yogi Ferrell to finish.
He's looking over his left shoulder, and the freshman has already passed him. Paul tried to get it over to Bertrand.
A sloppy start out of the locker room for Illinois. And did we not see this a week ago? The difference, though, being this.
Michigan State.
They were up at Michigan State when they started getting sloppy out of the locker room. Tonight, they're down by 12 against the #1 ranked team in the country. You
had a 10-point lead
that happen.
Up in East Lansing. And Michigan State went on that long and steady offensive surge. Watford offensive. Tom Crean looking for an explanation.
The nice pass out, and then Watford right into the chest, and Tom Crean, we got to let him say Coach Crean did not like and agree with that call.
Tom Crean has been talking about building a confident mindset, not an arrogant mindset as #1. Griffey. What have you said about their success when Tyler Griffey can get in spots like that?
We went through such a long stretch of not hitting the three. After early in the year, he hit a game winner in this building against Gardner-Webb.
Sloppy pass that time by Yogi Ferrell. Richardson. DJ Richardson. And it's a 6-point game with Indiana calling a timeout.
It takes just a couple of possessions, a commitment to the defensive end of the floor, and your offense all of a sudden gets a lot better, and we got a game.
Let's take you back to December 1st, 2004. Illini against a then #1 team. It was Wake Forest, Chris Paul's Wake Forest team. Roger Powell Jr. had 19, D. Brown Luther had 16, Darren Williams 11 assists. They won 91-73. They led by double digits the last 28 minutes of the game. Second time that Illinois was up against an AP #1 ranked team and pulled off the victory. First time, January '79, against Michigan State and Magic Johnson. And here they are tonight against #1 Indiana. An 8-2 run has them within 6. Will Sheehy gives way to Holes. Boy, and he has been on target tonight. Now 3 for 3 on trifectas for Jordan Holes.
And who set it up? Will Sheehy. Dribble drive action, flip pass. Good job moving without the ball again.
Zeller chasing that down. Sheehy thought about it, then drove, and a defense stepped up. That was Nanagwu. So third on Egwu.
A 9-point game, and in the battle of facial expressions by head coaches, Coach Gross is trying to say, Tom Crean, I'm giving you a run for the money, but will his team give him a run for the money? 14:34 left.
Seven-footer Cody Zeller for Indiana was the Big Ten Player of the Week. Had a great game against Michigan. 12th career double-double tonight here against the Illini. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 of 6 from the line. As we look at the Wendy's Wooden Watch, Cody Zeller.
A phenomenal player, and as you mentioned, perfect at the free throw line, but only 2 of 3 from the field. You know, Cody Zeller doesn't force up a lot of looks, but I certainly would like to see Cody Zeller get more involved in this game as we close out this second half. I mean, he has been dominant when his hands have touched the ball. Even with just 10 points and 6 rebounds, a dominating presence out on the floor.
Of course, a candidate for the Wooden Award. A lot of people saying, well, his teammate right next to him, Victor Oladipo, he's topping many of those lists as well. Now, he wasn't on the midseason list, but that doesn't mean he won't be on the list coming up.
Yeah, 2 guys I think should be on the list, Victor Oladipo and Kelly Olynyk of Gonzaga. And if you haven't watched Kelly Olynyk and what the big Canadian has meant for Mark Few's team, you need to stay up late on a Thursday night and watch him.
Will Sheehy couldn't get the bounce, but there for the tip-in was Cody Zeller.
Positioning yourself, doing the work early. So important. Get to the weak side of the glass. Understand where the misses are coming and make sure you're in the right spot at the right time.
How about some of his putbacks against the Wolverines on Saturday night?
It was huge. He's just a big-time player.
Griffey right over Will Sheehy.
And here comes that dribble weave action. This is how they scored earlier. They were able to find Zeller down the lane much better defensively that time.
Yogi Ferrell with the 3 ball.
But it's pick your poison. If you cheat in because Cody Zeller's running to the rim, you've got options, and Ferrell made him play. Nice job. What a great read offensively for the Hoosiers.
Remember, the Illini cut it to 6. Back to 12 now for Indiana. Pauls has had the hot hand from outside. Oladipo working off the ball screen, leaves it for Zeller. Nice look to Sheehy.
Putting on an execution clinic. The last 2 plays have been phenomenal as far as working together, understanding exactly what the purpose of the play is and how to create for your team. Unselfish play by the Indiana Hoosiers.
Matching their largest lead of the night.
Watch the way Zeller's going to get the ball. Go ahead and roll it out, folks. As Zeller sets the screen, freeze it right there. Defense steps over, look at the spot, easy lane to the rim, and a beautiful shovel dump down pass by Cody Zeller. Here's the screen, dump down pass 1, dump down pass 2, and go ahead and dunk it in by Will Sheehy. But credit Cody Zeller, credit the Indiana Hoosiers 4 assists on 6 made field goals here in the second half.
Sheehy has 12 points. Zeller does as well. Balanced scoring attack for Indiana. All 5 starters were in double digits against Michigan, and now a 14-point margin for the #1 team in the AP poll. Richardson, as he's able to get around Mascara-Perea.
The problem hasn't been the offense for Illinois here, especially in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They've gotten some good looks, high percentage shots, but they've got to start getting stops. And that starts by having accountability for everybody on the floor, being there on the catch, making things difficult.
Hulls finally misses a 3. Sam McLaurin trying to back his way in and muscles it right through.
Sam playing with some of that interior toughness that the Illini needs.
We asked you earlier, who's the best 6th man in the country? Tweet us your response. Will Sheehy making a great argument. Hashtag best 6th man. Get on top of it, folks. Joe Tessitore and Sean Farnham with you here at Illinois. Average J Sports Fan wrote of our 6th man, best 6th man in the nation question. Toss-up. Wiltshire better offensively, but Sheehy more complete player, more versatile, and the results are in. Got that Indiana audience watching us and supporting Will Sheehy, who's had himself a good night here with 12 points.
Can I just say, though, I appreciate Marquette Athletics tweeting out video of Devontae Gardner to try to help boost Devontae Gardner. A lot of great 6-men across college basketball, 4 of them obviously here, but no surprise, Will Sheehy with this audience really carrying the load and his impact and what he means, his toughness, his edge, however you want to say it, moxie if you must, just adds a different component to this Indiana Hoosier squad.
First points for Sam McLaurin in 18 minutes tonight.
And here's the issue. If you're going to try to get back into a game, you can't allow your opponent to shoot better than 50% in the second half.
Yogi Ferrell came up short.
And so far,
it's often a Illini player.
So far in the second half, that's exactly what Indiana's done. So Illinois shooting 54% in the second half, but Indiana shooting 50%. Trading baskets, not a great way to get back and win one.
Little look away for Sheehy on the inbounds. Couldn't pay it off, though. Rebound by Tyler Griffey. Abrams working behind McLaurin, and that was denied that time by Mascara-Perea. Hulls now. Whistle won't drop.
A nice job by Hulls attacking in transition. He's shown his ability to stretch you from the outside, but in the open floor, you've got to have some grit. You got to have some teeth to you. And Hulls has it. A very smart player. He's very good off the ball defensively.
And talk to those around the program. And keep in mind what Indiana basketball was 3 and 4 years ago. And here he is as a senior, and he's credited with being one of the guys who committed himself to changing the culture in recent years and trying to be a 365-day-a-year winner.
Well, how many times do you see a senior class that started their career going 1 for 17?
Isn't that amazing?
In conference
to then being number one.
Being number one. I mean, the bottom of the barrel to the top of the mountain. And that's what you're talking about with the senior class, and then even the guys in the junior class that came in were 4 of 14 in Big Ten play.
And that's why Tom Crean said to us earlier today, Sean, he said, our guys appreciate winning. They understand it, they appreciate it, considering what they've been through.
And the passion in which Coach Crean coaches with, and really the stamp of approval when the arrival of Cody Zeller, who's on the bench right now, when he came to campus, kind of changed the climate immediately as far as nationally and how people viewed it.
Good cut and a good look that time as Watford finished. Double-digit night for Christian Watford. Brandon Paul now. As he kicks it out, Richardson drives baseline. Looking, here's Griffey.
Griffey with 12 points, one of his better games we've seen in a long time.
They were desperate for him to break out, and still a 10-point margin even with that effort. Watford now coming around. Griffey, Richardson tied him up. And possession stays with Indiana.
For Griffey, in the last 5 games, he hasn't started any of them, averaging just about 3 points per game, shooting 29% from the field. Those numbers much better tonight. 12 points off the bench, 5 of 9 overall.
There's Zeller. Hollowell. And Jeremy Hollowell getting into the ads.
A byproduct of Cody Zeller on the block. The defense turns their head, watches and sees where Zeller is. And that just gives enough space to spot out and find an open, uncontested look.
Zeller with the rebound. This from Richardson. Yogi Ferrell pushing it. Now reset for Indiana with a 13-point lead here. Just over 9 minutes to play. Victor Oladipo. Under 10 on the shot clock. Yogi Ferrell being stretched out. Picked up his dribble. And the turnover. Richardson. Finger roll. And it goes with the whistle.
A great double team by Coach Gross and the Illini. Yogi Ferrell picked up his dribble. He was caught in no man's land. An easy turnover and a great finish. Exactly what Illinois needed.
Second on Ferrell sends Richardson to the line.
Good job in the open floor. And I think this is an area test where when you have turnovers, when you get a defensive stop, Illinois would truly benefit from getting their guards to run out and get that ball thrown ahead immediately, put pressure on Indiana without having to go against their half-court set defense.
Don't want to play them possession by possession here. A whistle down low as Egwu matched up with Zeller.
And Egwu's got 4. And as I mentioned, 3 out of the last 5 games, he's fouled out. He had 4 in the other 2. Well, 8:51 left to go. If he gets back in this game, there's a high likelihood he's going to foul out again.
So Nana Egwu will take a seat, and Tyler Griffey will come in for the Illini. Trailing by 10 against number 1 Indiana. Zeller high post. Watford now. And he left that a little high for Hollowell.
Stringing together stops. 8:32 left to go in this game. You've got to string together stops. That's 1 for Illinois.
4 turnovers for Watford. Fighting for it was Bertrand. Paul now. Shot fake. And another rebound by Tyler Griffey. And Griffey, they had opportunities. Little spin by Hulls. And block there as it was Hollowell coming on the cut. Facial expressions indeed for Coach Gross. Still a 10-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence.
Chris, I look forward to that because, as you know, the fate of the known world lies in the balance with what happens of Washington at UCLA. So says Mr. Wall.
And that Missouri-Texas A&M game. How about this one? In the SEC, Missouri has yet to win a true road game in conference play. That needs to improve tonight. They're healthier. This is a must-get for the Missouri Tigers.
Called on Sam McLaurin. Zeller right into the chest of McLaurin. Swiping away at it right there. Drawing the whistle. Reaching through was Jeremy Hollowell.
Illinois has been +2 so far in the scoring department here in the second half. They have matched Indiana step for step. When you have a 12-point deficit, though, not good enough. And they've strung together. They've strung together a couple stops. They need to be able to complete one here. They had 3 looks 2 possessions ago.
Got after it on the boards, but couldn't cash in. Here's Paul getting around Oladipo and then finishing.
What a beautiful move, beautiful composure by Brandon Paul.
And here's that defensive effort that Gross has been telling them they need all week long. Spots like this, under 7 against number 1, and trying to cut into it. Oladipo leaves it for Hollowell. And a 3-point shot for Jeremy Hollowell.
How many times have we seen them execute and kick to wide open shooters and then to knock it down? It's not just that they're open, but they're hitting it on a consistent basis.
Ball draws the foul. He's been aggressive the last 2 trips.
Watch the dribble drive action. The defense is going to cheat in along the back line. As you got to have an awareness, and as you suck in, it makes it a long run out, and Hollowell able to step up, toe the line, and knock it down, and the bench loves it.
Picked up his second on the other end. Paul at the line.
Edwards just checked back into the game with 4 fouls. We have 6:25. It's 6:27 on the clock. And when does he pick up his 5th? He's got to learn how to play in foul trouble because he stays in foul trouble. But they need his athleticism and his strength to rebound the basketball at the defensive end of the floor.
6'11" sophomore. And Agwu. The pressure as they break it, and then getting himself in a bit of trouble was Watford before Jordan Hulls bailed him out.
I love what Coach Rose did there on that possession, though. Off the made free throw, ball goes out of bounds. Your defense immediately jump into the press. Change the pace, change the flow.
Offensive. That's Christian Watford. His second.
Watford just extends out, and Paul with a little bit of theatrics. Enough to draw the foul and go in the opposite direction. A good job, though. He stepped into Paul, no question about it.
Three-pointer for Paul, and that cuts into it. So back to 6 as Illinois is trying to lock in here against #1 Indiana. And they clamp down on this side now. Illinois team has been struggling with second-half defense and Big Ten play. Yogi Ferrell leaves it. A good look for Cody Zeller.
34 seconds of superb defense by the Illini. The problem? There's 35 seconds on the shot clock. And Zeller at the end, finishing strong.
That is 5. You asked the question moments ago, Sean. And you see the reaction of John Gross.
And Coach Gross got to be careful right now. He is working the sideline, hunting for a technical. And you don't want to get one here.
Nanaglu, his big man, looked over, incredulous.
That lasted about a minute and a half before Eglu fouled out of this game. He is now fouled out of 4 out of the last 6 contests for the Illini.
So we'll be without Nanaglu for the last 4:52 here.
I'm going to show you what Coach Gross has been working the sideline. Eglu's foul, and post game like this, emotions on the line, frustration at times.
Ball's coming around. There's Watford against Griffey. Left hand. Zeller tried for the putback, and Watford chased it down. And Bertrand called for the foul. And they will go to the line in the bonus. Shooting 1 and 1 will be Christian Watford.
2 defensive possessions, though, where the Illini have defended well. A defensive rebound there. Instead of a loose ball scramble situation, they secure possession. At the possession before, 34 seconds of great defense. But they left Cody Zeller wide open underneath the rim.
Indiana hasn't missed from the free throw line tonight. 11 for 11.
2 great teams at the free throw line. Combined 21. Make it 22 of 23 free throws attempted between these 2 teams tonight.
Illini cut it down to 6 moments ago. Now back to double digits for #1. McLaurin against Zeller down low.
The Illini will not go away. They have showed great mental toughness, physical toughness tonight, especially here in the second half.
Been a tough road in conference play. And this as tough an assignment as there is. Showing some grit at home. There's Zeller now as they rotate it. Sheehy. And he lost the ball, but there's the whistle and the reaction from the crowd.
The Illini are trying to rally here as we come down the stretch of the second half. Indiana is trying to out-execute it.
Look forward to hearing from Dave Pasch and Bill Walton. I hope that Dave Pasch has informed Shabazz Mohabit that the fate of the known world lies in the balance of the outcome of this game.
For the next 40 minutes, it does for UCLA. They haven't won a game since they were in the McHale Center. They lose at Arizona State by 18. They come back and lose to a wounded USC team in overtime. At home, they need to respond.
I just cannot get enough of Walton this week. We remind you that you can catch Bill Walton and Dave Pasch anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, smartphone. WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. I think I'm going to be snowed in Montreal working Friday night fights, so I'm going to be dialing up the app to see you with Stanford, Arizona State.
Well, if you have a chance to tune in on Saturday, that game actually on ESPNU. Jahi Carson, one of the premier freshmen in all of college basketball, sensational talent, explosive guard for Herb Sendek.
First miss from the line tonight for Indiana is Will Sheehy. It's 1 of 2.
Well, that's an easy way to get to the free throw line.
Sure is.
It was about to be a 5-second call, too. Poor recognition that time by the Illini. They double-team Brandon Paul, and nobody flashes back for the ball. They got bailed out by the foul. We watch, we'll show you the replay. Here they are double-teaming Brandon Paul, and just no need. He just plays solid defense at that point in time, and nobody was cutting back. Nobody was coming back to be an outlet for Illinois.
Brian Watford. Paul hits the first.
Brandon Paul, 19 points, answering the call tonight for Illinois.
And the rebound bounces the right way for the Illini, but they couldn't get it to finish.
You've got to finish those looks if you're going to knock off the #1 team in the country. That's a layup.
Could have cut it to 6. Watford, other end. And Zeller fighting for it. Tapping it to himself. Oh, shot fake, runner, shorted it. Watford stripped. Good play by Bertrand.
You need a sense of urgency, though, for Illinois.
We're under 3 minutes here. 8-point margin. Ball was looking for it. Stays with the Illini. As Paul's reaching for his left hand after he ran into Cody Zeller. Illini will use a full timeout. 1 remains. Reminder that ESPN's Saturday Showcase has 2 good conference matchups. You got Michigan and Wisconsin at noon. Then ACC action, North Carolina against now number 8 Miami. Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy.
And Cody Zeller, the impact he can have on a game, the thumbprint that he can put on it. Sets great screens, moves without the ball. High intensity, securing second chance opportunities, battling on the board. Guys reaching, grabbing all over the top of him, setting up his teammates. He's done a little bit of everything tonight. He has played within himself, closing in on yet another double-double. It'd be his 3rd consecutive double-double.
9 rebounds, 14 points. Remember, we told you earlier, he's one of 3 players in the major conferences averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds per. Mason Plumlee and Boston College's Ryan Anderson, the other 2.
All of those players so impactful for their teams, and Ryan Anderson kind of tucked away there a little bit at BC. We know a lot about Mason Plumlee and Cody Zeller, but Ryan Anderson asked to do so much for Boston College, a program that is trying to build within their athletic department, especially on the side of basketball.
Of course, 2 older brothers in the NBA, Tyler and Luke. Richardson continues to have the hot hand. 3 3-pointers for DJ Richardson. 5-point game. Closest it's been since 28-23. Good look that time, but fine defense as well as Brandon Paul, whose defense was questioned by head coach John Gross, gets the big play.
The Illini in this building have won 3 straight against Indiana, 9 out of the last 10. The last 4 weeks, the Associated Press #1 ranked team in the country has fallen.
Here we go. Could it be that kind of night? Under 2, and it's a 2-point game as Richardson's on fire. A 9-1 run by Illinois.
Execution, understanding, hitting big shots in big moments. Richardson dialing it up on the out of bounds. He sets the screen, receives the screen, and hits the 3. And then on the next possession, inside out, collapse the defense, toe the line, knock it down. And we've got ourselves a 2-point game. And Coach Gross understands the importance. Katz's Corner earlier this week, they were talking about the selection Sunday. Where do the Illini fit in the picture? They've lost 8 out of their last 11 games. A signature win against #1 Indiana boosts that resume way up, and they've lost 8 out of their last 11 tests. And I'm telling you right now, they're playing like a team that is on fire and focused to finish this game.
Like the team they were earlier this year when they were 12-0, when they were coming up with wins against top 10 teams, and they were hitting their 3-pointers. They are a much different team when the confidence from the outside is there and they're connecting.
9 of 24 from behind the arc. Obviously, the last 2 have been huge for Richardson. An opportunity to tie or go ahead on this possession.
A little pressure coming in there with Sheehy getting after it. Put it all the way down to 2. Oladipo getting after Brandon Paul. And stay with the Illini.
15 on the shot clock. I stay with the hot hand. Richardson's going to inbound the ball. I would look for them to, once they get the ball in, if it's going to be a quick hitter, which it doesn't need to be, set a screen right on the inbounder after he delivers it. Set an up screen, try to clear out and create space.
Let's watch for #1. He's got 21 points. Here he is. Shot clock down to 7. Richardson. Oh, DJ Richardson. #1 is being threatened here in Champaign.
And they're being threatened by #1 of the Illini.
23 points for the senior.
Pushed to the brink are the Hoosiers right now on the road.
Oladipo through the lane. And Victor Oladipo in a pressure spot. Final minute here.
And Illinois is going to use their final timeout. So no more timeouts with 46.6 left. Richardson steps back, the strength in his lower body and the core to elevate up over the top. And then Oladipo at the opposite end. We haven't talked a lot about Victor Oladipo and his offense. Only 9 points here tonight, but none bigger than that one to give a 2-point lead to the #1 team in the country.
Of course, one of the big storylines this year in college basketball. Whoever gets to the top of the mountain has trouble staying there. #1 Duke. Remember what happened back on January 12th. And then Louisville ousted by Syracuse. Duke again on that blowout that Miami put on them. And then Indiana getting the best of Michigan. And now Indiana trying to survive here against an Illini team that has been struggling mightily in Big Ten play. 2 times in history, Illinois has pulled off a stunner against #1. Chris Paul's Wake Forest team. And in '79, they toppled Magic Johnson's Michigan State. Richardson scored the last 8 points for Illinois. Trailing by 2 here. Here's Paul. He draws the foul. It's Brandon Paul. More of a leader tonight.
72% free throw shooter is Brandon Paul. Tonight at the free throw line, 4 of 5.
Third on Oladipo.
This sold-out crowd is about to be real quiet.
Take it any way you can get it, my friends. Any way you can get it.
Just like you draw it up. Off the backboard, off the rim, off the backboard, off the rim, and in.
We're tied up.
2-second differential here.
37.2. 2-second differential. Game clock, shot clock.
Coach Gross told us before the game, he grades his players at the defensive end of the floor. He's going to be grading them here on this one. Final possession in this game. Can you get a stop?
Biggest test of the season for the Illini when he has challenged their defense.
You got to be careful on how you help here on Oladipo. Zeller's coming for the screen.
8 seconds. Oladipo. Oh, it's a steal that time by Richardson. And denied by Oladipo. .9 remains.
The defensive player of the year nationally, arguable where he will be at the end of the year. But right now, a huge play saving the #1 ranking after the turnover. You can't rest. Get back in transition. A beautiful swat with the left hand. But there's still time. 0.9 seconds. Plenty of time to get the ball up. What a play by Oladipo.
Can they pull off the last-second miracle here at home? How about that? Are you kidding me?
They've done it, Tess. They've done it. Tyler Griffey knocks off #1 Indiana. Execution on the out of bounds underneath.
Take it in, folks. It's been that kind of season in college basketball, and #1 goes tumbling down yet again.
We talked about the importance of getting the stop. It was the stop and the turnover for Victor Oladipo that gave him the chance, and with 0.9 seconds left, you raise up, you lose where your man is, and for Coach Gross and his first season here at Illinois, losers of 8 out of their last 11 games, and they got the answer. What a finish.
Tom Crean in disbelief. Here's how it happened.
The screen, and then Cody Zeller loses Tyler Griffey, clearly off before the horn sounds. Watch the screen. No communication. Cody Zeller caught in no man's land, and it's good.
They did it to Magic's #1 team in '79. They did it to Chris Paul's Wake team in '04. And now #1 Indiana goes down to the Illini. Tyler Griffey, the senior. The magical moment in Champaign.
I said before the game in the 101, tunnel vision. Block out everything else that is around you. What it comes down to is belief. In 40 minutes that you and your team can come together and accomplish something special. Illinois came down to that stretch, needing a stop, needing a play, and they executed and got it done.
Go back and show you one more time. Brandon Paul inbounding with .9 and finding Tyler Griffey.
Watch the crowd. $16,618 and a court stormer that they'll never forget. They are now 3 for 21 against #1 ranked teams in the country. What a game.
And think about where this team has been in recent weeks as we are now joined courtside by head coach John Gross. Coach, what do you make of that? What's going through your mind right now?
I'll be honest with you, I was so proud of them the way they fought. And obviously you want to win the game, Joe, Sean, but I just felt like we fought hard, and I was going to be proud of them either way. But to finish the game, the poise, the way that the seniors played with Griffey making plays after people have doubted him for so long. Richardson made plays. Paul made plays. You know, we made big plays. We did. And I'm really happy for our guys. I'm really happy for the seniors.
Coach, you told us that I'm grading my players the rest of the way off of their commitment to the defensive end of the floor. It was your defense in that final possession that gave you the opportunity to win this game. Talk about the effort, especially in the last 5 minutes or so, for you guys getting in the stance and grinding this one out.
Well, we were tough. I mean, we played together. We were tough. You know, that's what we got to do all the time. That should be the standard here at Illinois moving forward. And, you know, today they played with a lot of passion, and I was really proud of them.
Coach, you lost 8 out of your last 11 games. I said before the start of this one, the key for your success today, tunnel vision, lock in on what you have to do for 40 minutes. What does it mean, though, in particular for your squad that has had all this talk around about, oh, here we go again, just like last year, to turn this thing and get this win today?
Well, it means a lot for those kids. You know, I'm so proud of them. I really am. The way that they played, how tough they were, they just stayed with it. They bought into trying to close in on the deficit a little bit each 4-minute war and just try to put ourselves in a position to have a chance to win at the end of the game. And, you know, it says a lot about their character, bottom line. It does. And they've been through a lot, and I'm so happy for the seniors.
John, congratulations. Your team closing out on a 13-2 run. What a finish here in Champaign. Tyler Griffey, .9 off the inbound, making it happen. 74-72. The big upset here in Champaign. Number 1 goes down again. Let's send it out to Los Angeles and enjoy the rest of your night of action.